patient to lift their arm up towards the ceiling. Good. Now for this one, typically I check to make sure that the lat is activating with this, and then have them relax. Good. And again, this is different from our isometric strength test because now we're really forcing these muscles to work more against gravity versus in standing, you're actually working with gravity when you're testing isometrically. Right? So that's why this becomes more specific as a manual muscle test versus just the isometric strength test that you're doing. So have her lift up again one more time, and then you're gonna hold that position, and I'm gonna be pushing straight down. Okay, nice. So I would give her 5 out of 5. That was very good. Okay, so that's shoulder extension. Horizontal adduction, so go ahead and flip over. We're gonna check pec major. Okay, so for pec major, you can have her bring her arm up to 90 degrees of flexion, slight bend in the elbow, and then to test active range of motion, you'd have her adduct as far as she can. So that's testing for her full available range. Okay, now, I am gonna be monitoring on her pec to make sure that that's the muscle that's working, and then I'm going to use my line of force into horizontal abduction. Okay, so hold this position. Good. And she meets that maximum resistance, so that would be 5 out of 5. I don't like the body mechanics of that person. Just because you see how it's kind of like wrapping around versus aligning your forearm with the force. So just keep that in mind. I don't love that picture from a body mechanics perspective. Okay, shoulder external rotation.
So during like a checkout, that'd be a big deal.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I want to make sure that you're aligning yourself with your line of force. So whatever position that may be, yeah, we are going to be looking at that.
He's not using his lat a lot. So I just.
Yeah. That's.
No,
If-
listen.
yeah.
That's the way you do it. That's it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight that.
Yeah.
It just says so. It's it.
Okay.
Let's review the YouTube video.
All right. So for shoulder
you can see how
external
she does it
rotation,
exactly.
so you're going to have the arm. You're going to be supporting the distal humerus here, and then have her actively go through the full available range. Okay. Good. She has nice range, and then come back up into that position. Good. You can even palpate the teres group, teres major, to make sure that it is activating, and then hold that position. Let me move you. Yeah. So that one I would give more of a 3+ because she actually broke pretty quickly at that range of motion. And again, I started to see some compensation. She wanted to hike her shoulder up and use other muscle groups. So you do want to be monitoring for those sort of compensations too as you're doing assigning your muscle grade. And then for internal rotation, it's going to be the same position. You are going to want a towel for this. For right now, I'm not going to use one just for the sake of time, but you would want to place a towel underneath. I'm just going to support her distal humerus, have her go through that full available range. Nice. And go ahead and relax. Okay, and then do that one more time. And then apply your resistance. It's pretty good. I give her like a 4. Because again, then I started to note those compensations of kind of coming up into scapular elevation around moderate resistance, which is a 4. Okay. Let's do elbow extension while we're in this position, and then we'll go to elbow flexion. Okay, so to test triceps. So triceps again is one of those short and strong muscles. So you're going to have the patient in 90 degrees of abduction. You are going to have them just extend the elbow fully, supporting the distal humerus. And then your resistance is on the forearm trying to flex the elbow. Nice. Good. And then relax. Great. So that was 5 out of 5 max resistance. And then we'll do elbow flexion as the last one. So come on up into sitting. So test your biceps, brachialis, brachioradialis. You're going to bring the elbow slightly away from the trunk so that you're in about 45 degrees of flexion, stabilizing at the humerus here proximally, and then you're applying your resistance into extension. Alright. Be strong. Yeah. Yeah. She almost overcomes it. Good. Okay. Alright, so let's give those ones a try.